Hello, I'm Dr. Jim Taylor, and welcome to Prime Business Alert. This segment of Prime Business Alert focuses on the myth of multitasking. Like many wired people, you probably take great pride in being a multitasker. You talk on your mobile phone, check your email, send instant messages, and perhaps even read a letter or jot down notes for an upcoming meeting at the same time. Or so you think. Why do you multitask? Well, how can you possibly accomplish everything you need to get done and still have time for a life? You may believe you're the epitome of productivity and efficiency, getting so much done all at once. There's just one problem with this scenario. There's no such thing as multitasking, at least not the way you probably think about it. The fact is, multitasking as most people understand it is a myth that's been promulgated by the technological industrial complex to make overly scheduled and stressed out people feel more productive and efficient. Multitasking involves engaging in two tasks simultaneously. But here's the catch. It's only possible if two conditions are met. One, at least one of the tasks is so well learned as to be automatic, meaning no focus or thought is necessary to engage in the task. For example, walking. And two, they involve different types of brain processing. For example, you can read effectively while listening to classical music because reading comprehension and processing instrumental music engage different parts of the brain. However, your ability to retain information while reading and listening to music with lyrics declines significantly because both tasks activate the language center of the brain. What does all this mean for all of you self-professed multitaskers out there? Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it means that what you do isn't really multitasking. Despite appearances, you simply can't talk on the phone, read an email, send an instant message, and watch YouTube videos all at the same time. In fact, when you think you're cruising along the information highway, you're actually stepping on the gas, then hitting the brakes over and over again. You and every other so-called multitasker are actually engaging in serial tasking. Rather than engaging in simultaneous tasks, you're in fact shifting from one task to another in rapid succession. For example, you switch from a phone conversation to a document on your computer screen to an email and back again, in the belief that you're doing them simultaneously. But you're not. A summary of research examining multitasking on American Psychological Association's website describes how so-called multitasking is neither effective nor efficient. These findings have demonstrated that when you shift focus from one task to another, the transition is neither fast nor smooth. Instead, there's a lag time during which your brain must yank itself from the initial task and then glom back onto the new task. This shift, though it feels instantaneous, actually takes time. In fact, up to 40% more time than single tasking, especially for complex tasks. A recent study by 3 Stanford University researchers offers perhaps the most surprising result. Those who consider themselves to be great multitaskers are in fact the worst multitaskers. Those who rate themselves as chronic multitaskers made more mistakes, could remember fewer items, and took longer to complete a variety of focusing tasks analogous to multitasking than those self-rated as infrequent multitaskers. In a recent interview on NPR, a co-author of the study, Dr. Clifford Nass, states, "The shocking discovery is that the difference appears to be due to an inability to filter past and no longer relevant information from the previous task." My consulting work with leading technologists, business people, athletes, and coaches offers further support to my belief that multitasking is just not the way to go. The goals of these top performers with whom I work are not just to be productive and efficient, but rather to be the very best in their fields and to push the envelope of what is possible. Even a 1% improvement in performance or productivity can mean dramatic differences in output. And I found that single tasking, meaning focusing only on one task at a time, is essential to maximize performance. It's also an effective tool for making those small yet profound gains in productivity. The questions still do exist, and there's still a need for future study. The preponderance of evidence does suggest that multitasking isn't all it's cracked up to be. With all things considered, I believe there is enough evidence to support the notion that single tasking can be more effective and efficient than multitasking. I'm Dr. Jim Taylor for Prime Business Alert.